Hello all, I welcome you all to this third lecture in the lecture series of vehicle dynamics. We are into the longitudinal dynamics, and here I will be discussing you about modeling for maximum speed and engine torque versus speed variations. So let's dive deep into this lecture. Okay, before starting I will take a pointer. So already I told you that topic that will be covered under longitudinal vehicle dynamics. The topics will be driving resistance, driving performance, and all these topics. So here I will be focusing on these two topics and will be telling you more about that basics. Okay, modeling for maximum speed. When you model for maximum speed or any other parameter, a term you have to see. The lowest is the force. Then comes the velocity or acceleration, whatever. Then comes the power demand or torque demand, interchangeably they come. So if you are going to model for velocity, you should know the forces that are acting on the value of these forces. So basically you know there are four resistive forces acting on the vehicle. These are inertial force, rolling resistance, aerodynamic drag, and climbing resistance. So F total equals to the sum of all these forces. These forces also contain some parameters that are basic parameter and are always available to you. So if you are not working in a project and attempting to learn this, you can take the example of any vehicle that is available, like it can be EV or it can be internal combustion engine. So before starting that, take a vehicle and then start doing all the processes. So F total equal to sum of all these forces, which is equal to resistive forces. Obviously these are all the resistive forces on the vehicle, or we can say it as a required driving force. So here I want to put one question to you all. There is a, if you go deep into vehicle dynamics or the motor component, powertrain component sizing, so there is always a difference between required driving force and a driving force. So just go and see, and if you find out, just you can comment down in the comment section below and we will be happy to see that. So here you got the total force as the sum of all these forces. Now you know force as a function of velocity. I told you in the last lecture that some of the resistive forces are also the function of velocity. So you know force as a function of velocity. Now what you have to do, just draw a graph, force as a velocity. This is an analytical function, like this is not a very complex function, it's an analytical function, so graphs can be easily drawn. Suppose this graph comes. This is not an actual graph, but it's just a representation where the relationship is correctly satisfied. As the velocity increases, force also increases. Okay. So we will draw the curve of force F total versus function of velocity with the selected range. Okay. Now you know that the minimum velocity is zero. Vehicle start with a zero velocity. Huh? Before doing this, just remember two things, that this modeling approach that I'm telling you for maximum speed is just to find the maximum and minimum speed for the analysis. That's why I told you maximum speed analysis. If you want to do more analysis, you have to know the use of various softwares that can be that you can learn by like going deep into the topic. All the input parameters and driving conditions should be available to you. Like there are various parameters such as aerodynamic drag coefficient that you should know, like rough idea, and driving conditions such as vehicle is driving on a hilly area or a flat road, you should know that also. That's why I'm telling you the approach is that just imagine a vehicle. If you're not working on a project, if you're working on a project, imagine a condition. Okay, so you draw the force versus velocity curve, and from here you have to find the maximum velocity. So what I will do, I know the mean velocity, I have to take the maximum velocity. So I will see what is the maximum power demand like a vehicle can have Like if the power demand will increase, obviously the component who is going to generate that power component sizing will also increase. So there is a restriction in the sizing. So according to that restriction, you can determine the maximum value of power. So accordingly, you can decide a value of resistive forces that above which I cannot go, and again you will get this maximum velocity. So from here you know what is the force and maximum resisting force, and accordingly you have model for maximum speed. Why I'm saying speed instead of velocity? Because I'm taking a range from 0 to Vmax. If the vehicle is moving in negative direction, positive direction, I'm not considering. I'm considering the vehicle is just moving and starting from 0 and going to the maximum speed. So if you have proper data of motor and battery in the case of electric vehicle and engine, you can arrive to the maximum velocity. Now you know the velocity, so you will going for engine torque versus speed variations. So power equals to F total into velocity, all the resisting forces summed up into the velocity of the vehicle at that point of time. For maximum power demand, just take the maximum value of this and multiply with the Vmax. You get the maximum power demand. Now you want to have the engine torque. So I have taken power equals to T into omega. Okay. Power as a function of velocity, you know. How you know? You know that F total into velocity. F total as a function of velocity, you know, multiply the velocity, you will get just 1 degree higher term. So just draw the power into velocity curve. So you know power as a function of velocity, omega as a function of velocity, you also know. Omega equals to V by R. So here you can easily find torque as a function of velocity. So we know velocity curve for power, we know velocity curve for omega, so torque as a function of velocity can be easily found. So hence we can plot for vehicle torque versus velocity of vehicle and engine torque versus speed of engine. So these two things can be easily plotted because we know all the efficiencies and we know all the parameter value. So with this I came to the end of this topic, and just give you a glimpse of the next video. We will be covering the electric vehicle powertrain system and internal combustion engine powertrain system, and we'll be comparing what are the difference between them. We'll be seeing the braking performance of the vehicle, like what are the braking performance and how the vehicle brake, like basics of all these things. So if you like this video, just give it a like and subscribe our channel, and for any feedback just comment below. Thank you.